Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. We are very excited now to be joined by a friend of mine. I can actually say I have a friend that's a D1 coach, Preston Spradlin, coach of Morehead State. Preston, how are you, sir?
Doing great, my man. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Glad to have you. I got to know you when you were at UK, and I'm very impressed with what you've done there. Started the season, I believe 2-10, now 12-12, second place in the OVC. Things have been going great since you took over. Talk to me about how your team's playing.
You know, they're playing great. I mean, not just with the record, but they're having a lot of fun. You know, they're the product that's on the floor is a fun product to watch. It's easy to sell to recruits right now. You know, we're leading our league in scoring, 3-point field goal percentage, assists. They're sharing the ball. It's a fun brand of basketball that we're playing right now, and we're really competing. And that's probably the biggest thing with my kids that I'm most proud of is they really compete. They play their hearts out every single night. And that's a testament to them. It's nothing. I don't have a magic potion that makes them do that. They do that because of who they are, what's inside them, and what makes them tick.
Well, I want to ask you about you. I mean, you get brought to Morehead with Sean Woods. The situation happens where he's no longer the coach, and you come in. And I know there's a pressure, but there's also you're an interim coach. You don't know what's going to happen next year. You got to recruit. There's so many different things going on. How do you process all that and then still find a way to get this team to play well?
You know, I wake up every day and I ask myself, where's my focus right now? Because it shifts throughout the day. Right now I'm doing an interview with you, and 5 minutes later I'm going to have to shift my focus back to a very good Eastern Kentucky team that we'll play tomorrow, and then shift my focus back to Murray State, which we're going to watch a little film with our guys today. Then we'll begin practice, preparing back for Eastern Kentucky. So, you know, that's the biggest thing is just being disciplined in my own self, and that's hard to do. It's not an easy thing because that's always looming. It's always there. But that's how I have to do it for my players. I have to make sure that I'm disciplined enough to have the right focus for that particular time. And by doing that, it allows them to do the same thing, to block out distractions that have come with this situation, the distractions that come with being an 18 to 22-year-old student athlete who has to go to class and juggle social life and you know, the stresses that come with being a Division I athlete. So, you know, we're having fun with it. At the end of the day, you know, I get to wake up every day and be around a great group of guys and coach basketball. It's not like work for me at all. And given the circumstances, it was my dream to be a Division I basketball coach, especially at a place like Morehead State, being from Eastern Kentucky. So I'm not going to let the circumstances ruin that for me. I'm going to enjoy it for as long as I'm allowed to enjoy it.
Let me get to that. You're from Eastern Kentucky. You started at UK under Cal. Cal sent you a congratulatory tweet last night. Talk just about your background, how you ended up at UK with Cal and sort of your start in your coaching career.
You know, I was very, very fortunate. You know, I played college at Alice Lloyd. I wasn't a great player. You're not, you know, those stats aren't archived. But if anybody tries to look them up, maybe I was a little bit better player than what it was. But no, I was just really fortunate to get on with those guys in a very small role while I was working on my master's and doing some video stuff and different things like that. And, you know, I always hang my hat on working very hard. And I always was a come early, stay late type of guy, and was just fortunate to pick up a few different duties every year and make them my own and put my own spin on them. And, you know, those guys, I just learned so much while I was there. I was a sponge, and I soaked it all up. And as the years would go by, we'd get a little bit more to do each year, a little bit more responsibilities and things like that. And I just learned a ton from them. You know, I was there for 5 years. I was around a lot of good players. I hung on coaches' every word and the staff and learning from them and talking to them. And I'm very thankful for that time because it really prepared me for what I'm going through right now.
You know, the situation, everybody kind of has dreams of how they'll get their first chance to be a head coach. It hasn't played out probably like you would have wanted, but once it happened, what was that like when you realized, okay, I'm 29, turning 30, and I got to be a head coach of a program? What was that like?
You know, I didn't have much time to reminisce in it and feel sorry for myself or anything like that. We had to put the boots on the ground and get to work. You know, at that point, we were getting ready to play Pittsburgh. We had Thanksgiving. We had a lot of distractions going on. That was a good thing for me, that I just had to be focused on basketball and make it about the guys and do my best to prepare them each and every day for each of the games. So we were in the midst of a season. There wasn't much time to do any of that other stuff. So I think that was a good thing. That was a good distraction for me, that I could just dive in and do what I do for the players and keep them focused on basketball.
Well, Coach Preston Spradlin, I have to tell you folks watching at home, one of the nicest guys you'll meet in the business. I couldn't be happier for you. And I'm actually going to try to come tomorrow night. They're playing at Eastern in Richmond. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think the game's at 7. I encourage people to head out there and cheer them both on. Coach, thank you very much.
My man, thank you so much.
We'll take a break and be right back. This is Hey Kentucky.